A very good afternoon and welcome to today's edition of Lunchtime News. You're with me, Ashani De Silva. Let's start off with a quick look at your headlines. His Holiness Pope Francis departs Sri Lanka after a 2-day visit. Demonstration held urging that the support of several UPFA Uva provincial councillors to be sought by the UNP. An additional Secretary of the Ministry of Defence appointed to investigate post-election violence. DM Swaminathan assumed duties as the Minister of Resettlement, Rehabilitation and Hindu Cultural Affairs. Now moving on into your stories in detail. Hindus around the world celebrate the festival of Thai Pongal today. The festival of Thai Pongal is a Thanksgiving ceremony in which the farmers celebrate the event to thank the elements of nature, the sun and farm animals for their assistance in providing a successful harvest.
Thai Pongal is celebrated on the first day of the month of Thai in the Tamil calendar. The first day of the Tamil month Thai is the second and main day of the festival, and this day is known as Thai Pongal. Thai Pongal is mainly celebrated to convey the appreciation and thankfulness to the sun god, as it acts as the primary energy source for agriculture and a good harvest. In Tamil, the word Pongal means overflowing, which signifies abundance and prosperity. On the day of Pongal, at the time of sunrise, there is a symbolic ritual of boiling fresh milk in new clay pots and let the milk boil over and bubble out of the vessel. Several other rituals and traditions are followed on this date to celebrate the festival.
Now, President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe issued messages in lieu of the Thai Pongal festival celebrated by Hindus today.
In his message to mark Thai Pongal, President Maithripala Sirisena says that this festival marks the traditional renewal of links between humans, the deities and nature, and the unity of people in worship and thanksgiving for blessings received, with abundant hope for success in the future. The President goes on to say that he is pleased to issue this message at the very beginning of his term of office with metta, loving kindness and the cultivation of benevolence for peace, unity and prosperity among our people. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe in his message today said that the Thai Pongal ceremony highlights the value of equity and gratitude. Prime Minister Wickremesinghe adds that a new political atmosphere has been created with the values of equity and gratitude, which have been moving away from Sri Lankan society, has been re-established. Ranil Wickremesinghe adds that we should all be determined to build up a disciplined and righteous society in Sri Lanka with the spirits of this Thai Pongal. Issuing a message, leader of the JVP, Anukumar Dissanayake, says the responsibility at present is to not allow the victorious opportunity from leaving our grasp and also not be settled with limited victories. The JVP leader adds that on this day, all should work together to achieve democracy and national unity as well as economic development in the country.
Hindu devotees across the island celebrate the Thai Pongal festival, giving priority to religious observances.
Celebrations took place at the Bhadrakali Amman Kovil in Trincomalee today in this manner. A celebration was also organised at the Manika Pillayan Kovil in Hatton as well. A Thai Pongal festival was also organised at the Mathura prison with the participation of its inmates. The event was organised by the Mathura prison superintendent and other officials. A special sermon was held under the auspices of the chief priest of the Subramaniam Kovil in Mathura.
විදේශ රැකියා අමාත්‍යවරිය ලෙස තලතා අතුකරල මහත්මිය අද වැඩභාර ගත්තා. අපි දැන් යමු එම දර්ශන වෙත.
வெளிநாட்டு வேலைவாய்ப்பு அமைச்சர் தலதா அத்துக்கூறல தமது கடமைகளை இன்று காலை 10:39 அளவில் பொறுப்பேற்றுக் கொண்டார். கொழும்பு ஜனாதிபதி மாவட்டத்தில் அமைந்துள்ள அமைச்சர் அலுவலகத்தில் இதற்கான நிகழ்வு இன்று காலை இடம்பெற்றது.
Thalathathukorala, the new Minister of Foreign Employment, officially assumed duties in a ministerial portfolio at the ministry today. Thalathathukorala assumed duties at the Ministry of Foreign Employment located down Janadipati Mawatha, Colombo.
Welcome back. His Holiness Pope Francis departed from Sri Lanka this morning to the next destination of his tour of Asia, Manila, Philippines. The Pope left for the Philippines on an aircraft belonging to Sri Lankan Airlines.
His Holiness visited the Benedict XVI Cultural Institute in Bolavalan, Negombo before proceeding to the Katunayake International Airport from Colombo. At the institute, he was greeted by a group of religious leaders of the Catholic Church in Sri Lanka, including His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit. His Holiness Pope Francis officially declared open the institute dedicated to the former leader of the Roman Catholic Church, Pope Benedict XVI. Following prayers, Pope Francis arrived at the Bandaranaike International Airport for departure. At the airport, Pope Francis's official farewell ceremony got underway under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena. A group of ministers, including Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, participated in the event.
The Sri Lankan nation was truly blessed by the arrival of His Holiness Pope Francis I in the island. A holy mass and a service was carried out by His Holiness in two different locations in the island, where a multitude of Catholic people attended to receive the blessings of the visible leader of the Catholic Church. The Holy Father departed to the city of Manila in Philippines. We at News First wishes His Holiness a safe journey. For the News First team, I am Chaturanga Hapuarachi.
Pope Francis I arrived in the island on 13th of January for the canonization of the Blessed Joseph Vase, which followed a massive mass at Gorface Green yesterday. Following the mass, Pope Francis visited the shrine of Madhu in Manila last evening and conducted a special prayer service there.
Additional Election Secretary of the Ministry of Defence, D.M.S. Jayaratna, has been appointed to look into post-election violence and take speedy measures to address such issues. A communique issued by the Ministry of Defence notes that the appointment was made as per the instructions of President Maithripala Sirisena. Thereby, the public will be able to lodge a complaint by contacting 0112 335 792 or 0112 335 794 or 0112 335 795 and 071 8345 124 over any incident of violence that takes place at any given location of the country. Complaints can also be lodged via a fax number 0112 335 797. Meanwhile, new Minister of Resettlement, Rehabilitation and Hindu Cultural Affairs, D.M. Swaminathan, assumed duties in his portfolio at the ministry this morning.
The ceremony was held at the Ministry of Resettlement, Rehabilitation and Hindu Cultural Affairs with the participation of several dignitaries. Speaking to the media, the minister expressed the following views.
The officials will have to inform me what the present situation as far as the resettlement scheme is concerned. It doesn't matter to me what our political differences are, but we have to see that we fulfill our obligation, because the people are waiting this, and especially the resettlement ministry, reconstruction ministry is deemed to be a very important factor, especially the northerners and the easterners, and also the upcountry people who have suffered so much due to so many calamities. In the future, I am going to discuss this matter. I have discussed certain issues for the last 2 days. In a couple of weeks' time, in a week's time or 10 days' time, we will start our program very soon.
Thalathathukorala, the new Minister of Foreign Employment, officially assumed duties in her ministerial portfolio at the ministry this morning. Thalathathukorala assumed duties at the Ministry of Foreign Employment located down Janadipati Mawatha, Colombo. She assumed duties at the auspicious time of 10:39. An event was organised in Ratnapura yesterday to welcome the new Minister of Foreign Employment, Thalathathu Korala.
The welcome ceremony was organised by the people of the Ratnapura electorate. The public was seen gathering in the Ratnapura town centre till 8 last night to welcome the new minister. Welcome ceremonies were held in honour of Minister of Foreign Employment Thalathathu Korala in areas of Aliyagoda, Kuruvita and Malangama yesterday.
A demonstration was staged in the Mahyanganaya town yet today, urging that the UNP not seek the support of a UPFA Uva provincial councillor who holds a provincial ministerial portfolio. The demonstrators charged that the principle of good governance on which the current government is based is violated if support of the relevant councillor is accepted. Meanwhile, a similar protest was launched in Valimada, where the participants declared their opposition at support of the UPFA members of the Uva Provincial Council being accepted by the UNP. A group of UNP party supporters engaged in this protest earlier this morning. An individual has been murdered with the use of a sharp weapon in Keselwatta, Colombo.
Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana said that a group has beaten the victim to death at around 4 this morning. The deceased was a 27-year-old from Keselwatta. The police added that the murder was a result of a personal dispute and the victim was a suspect connected to previous murders.